YouTube, it's Will from Little Development. This is my 244th weekly update. Actually have some fun stuff happening this week, unlike last week where it was a layoff from the gym. This week, I was back at the gym, but the game plan was a little different. My thought process going into the next actually couple of weeks is that I have a layover where I'm going to be at World's Strongest Man because it's happening in Florida, which is where I live. It's about 2.5 hours away from here. I'm in Central Florida. It's going to be in Bradenton, which is on the west coast of Florida, near Tampa, for anybody who doesn't know where that's at. But people tend to know where Tampa's at. So it's near Tampa. We don't know exactly where, but hopefully those details will come out in the next couple of weeks, if not next week. So with that in mind, there's going to be about 4 days where I'm not going to be able to get to an actual gym, or I'm going to put it this way, I don't want the stress of having to try to find a gym to complete my training. That being said, I do know of some pretty good gyms out in the Tampa area, some good strongman gyms, so I may pop in and say hi and try to get some training in there. But I figured that I was coming back, I wanted to come back slow and easy. So I ended up recording some footage of training from this week, so my week of video coming out on Wednesday will actually have some footage on it for you guys. And it's some different events, or some different things. Normally you see my squat, and then my press, and then a deadlift. This week you'll see, what the hell did I even record on Monday? I can't even remember what I recorded on Monday, or what footage I had on Monday. But basically I came in and I did squat, but I just took the bar and I squatted for 4 sets of 25. Super fast, and it actually felt really good to do, and it felt strong, and it didn't really wind me as much as I thought it would. So moving forward, I'm very excited with that because I'm going to use that. And for the next couple of weeks, instead of jumping straight into an actual program per se, I'm doing movements that I feel will help me prepare for my next program, and testing some things out to see, okay, is this actually going to help me achieve what I want to achieve, or is this something that's not going to help me get where I need to go, while also being good to my back, because what's most important for me leading up to my comp in September is going to be keeping my back super healthy and keeping myself strong, because at the comp, odds are something may happen where I'll be put into a compromised position where I might actually, re-injure it, or injure it further, I should say. That being said, let me just grab my phone. I'll just look at what I did on Monday, what I actually recorded on Monday. Right, Zercher squats is what I actually ended up recording. I did normal back squats, the 4 times 25, and then I ended up just doing 3 sets of 5 with the Zercher squats, which is definitely something I'm going to work on, because in the comp I'm doing, it has a Zercher yoke carry, so I want to get used to that feeling of having weight on my front. It's going to be very challenging, but I figure if I can work up to squatting that somewhere in the 200s within my time that I need to sort of peak for the comp, then doing the yoke with 350 should become less and less challenging. A lot of it's going to be challenging for me in that particular event because I'm not used to carrying something, especially in the crooks of my elbows. My bicep strength is not quite there. So it's something to definitely work towards, but I feel like I can definitely handle it. Seeing as how even injured, I'm able to run a 400 yoke with decent speed. So my footwork's there, it's just getting the rest of my body used to holding it up. But the other part of my training right now, and leading up to my peaking programming I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be doing all of it beltless, and most of it without any assistance equipment. No straps, no sleeves, no belts. And a lot of that is to keep me in check, as well as develop a lot more core strength, which obviously I'm lacking in particular areas, especially on like a front squat style squat, which Zercher is. Tuesday, I was planning on getting some work in with the axle because there is an axle press, which is probably the one event I'm most scared of because my overhead has gone up quite a bit, but cleaning a 230-pound axle in and of itself is going to be something I need to work towards. And then being able to actually even press it once is definitely going to be something I have to work for. Now, I've always found it easier to press with an axle, personally. I think it's just because it's a little higher up. But it's still something I'm going to have to work on. And I had all intentions to do it on Tuesday, but everybody in the world was using the axle at the gym. So what I ended up doing is just picked up a keg and just ran it for like 200 feet. I did that with a 65, and then I did it with a 100. And then I ended up just doing some keg presses just to get some sort of press work in. I also did a bit of a warm-up, some band work and some dumbbells with my pressing as well on Tuesday. But, the workout definitely could have been better, I think, in terms of an actual press workout. But definitely the moving the kegs. I want to work on my conditioning a little bit while I can, so to speak. And then today, I had intentions to do farmers into farmer sort of deadlifts, but I ended up just doing 200-foot runs with 100-pound farmers, which was a lot harder than I thought, and it was a lot harder to keep speed and get speed with it. Now, although I don't have any farmers events coming up, I do have a frame deadlift, which is going to be at 18 inches, so it's actually going to be higher than both the hex bar that we have at the gym as well as the farmers that we have at the gym. But I need to make sure I develop the grip strength because the deadlift does start at 500 pounds, I think. I think it starts at 500 for my weight class, and then it progressively gets heavier. I'll be happy to just pull the 500. My grip is pretty damn good, but I want it to be bulletproof going into the event. And then the other thing was I basically have decided I'm not going to do conventional deadlifts for a while, which luckily this comp doesn't have one. I guess it's frame. So I'm going to be doing deadlifts with mostly the hex bar, which is going to be a lot better for my back and my spine. And so far it has been. Doing the farmers today was pretty good, actually. Once I got up to the 100 pounds per hand, which is 200 pounds, which is nothing. I've done 230 per hand before, I think, and actually was able to run that for I think 40, 60 feet or something like that. No, less than that, probably 40 feet, I think. I've been able to run that before in the past. It seems so long ago now, but it was just a challenge to keep everything tight and make sure everything stayed strong through the whole movement. And it actually ended up making my hip and my back feel a lot better when it was all said and done. The first run actually did hurt, and then the second run felt pretty good, and then by the third run, nothing in my back or my hip had hurt. And then now, even after getting home, it's actually feeling a lot better too. So it's all just a process. Next week, I'm going to definitely get on some axles. Probably tomorrow, I'm going to try to practice some axle cleans. We'll see how all that goes. Tomorrow, definitely got to work on my heavy axle cleans. And all this is, like I said, it's going to be experimenting for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I have a little bit of time to play around, so to speak. And then it's time to peak, which the beauty of doing a comp and knowing exactly what's in it and what you have to do is that you can work backwards from competition day and figure out how much time exactly you have to peak, And I'll talk about that in another video. Probably. I'll probably forget, but I'm saying it now, so maybe somebody will hold it to me. Hold me to it. That's how that phrase works. Regardless, there's nothing wrong with getting some extra conditioning in, especially if you're fat like me and you need to lose about 5 to 10 pounds by September, which is nothing, honestly. But I want to be down around 205 for the foreseeable future, and just maintain around there, and then leading up maybe 5 weeks, just lose about a pound a week. That's my plan. That way I don't have to freak out and do some drastic weight cut. I'm just not interested in that health-wise. I'm not interested in it stress-wise. I got enough things to think about without having to think, oh shit, I need to lose 20 pounds, in a fucking month. I don't need to think about that. I need to think about, all right, my back's feeling good. I need to keep it that way. So, I definitely recommend some mess around weeks every once in a while just to try some things out, see where you're actually at, test some things out. And it's actually it's been an enjoyable training because there's no disappointment, because I have no expectations of myself for this week, which is kind of nice. So with all that being said, every once in a while, have a mess around week and really enjoy your training, because that's what causes longevity. If you don't, then what's your excuse?